man, it's kind of cringeworthy, to be honest. It's tough for me to watch like playback of my own like interviews.
Man.
It's cringeworthy for some reason. I don't know why. I'd be like, I'll be repeating certain words, and I'll be like, why did I just do that?
Why did I do
like,
that?
It just, like, why did I do that? Like, people tell me, like, yo, man, your interview was so dope. Or the guest, after I interviewed, they'll call me, like, yo, AB, man, like, we love your style, your interview style, man. I'm like, oh, for real? And I look back at it, I'm like, what? Like, I just sound so cringeworthy. I don't know why. I find it awkward, though, Gail, like, to listen to my playback. To be honest, I really don't watch none of my interviews. Like, because I don't know why. It just feel weird to watch it. Like, if I do, I got to force myself. And the only way I watch it is, like, to get better, to work on my crowd and stuff like that.
Between the two of us,
that's what it was, Gail.
Between the two of us, we got it,
man.
Good job, man.
We got it. So all right. Like now I can see you now. Now it's showing the split screen now.
Okay, good.
So that's pretty cool. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, it's showing the split screen and all that.
Boy, I tell you, you can tell it's two dudes that are missing their wives.
That's a fact, man. And they be thinking we the ones that be doing everything.
Nah, man. Well, my wife, she knows better than that. I always tell her, give yourself a raise. Okay, how much of a percent? I was like, let's go crazy, 70%. And she goes, 70% of nothing is like, okay, thanks a lot. Oh, this camera, what am I gonna do with this camera? There we go. All right, I'm not frozen on your side, am I?
No, you good.
All right, here we go. All right. So let's go into let's just go into, what do you do? And, hold on. Let's just go straight into it. So what do you do, man?
All right. So I am the co-founder of Grailz Inc. So Grailz Inc, what is that? So it wasn't started off just going back to the genesis of it. It started off as a clothing line. So I wanted to make a clothing line that was catered to the sneaker culture. Me and my close friend E. He's a co-founder. Yeah, E from E, man. E from is the co-founder as well too. Both of us created Grailz Inc. We both shared a passion for sneakers and just the culture as a whole. So we wanted to create a clothing line that was really catered to it. We really seen the market that at that time you had a lot of companies on the underground that was bubbling up, like your LRGs, your 10 Deeps, Lamar and Dolly, Magenti clothing, all these clothing lines that was bubbling in the underground circuit, like during the MySpace days. So you had a lot of hip hop artists that kind of gravitated to like the hipster movement, like the Kid Cudis of the world, the Lupe Fiascos, the Cool Kids, even Kanye, before Kanye really crossed over, with his music success. So we wanted to do something like that. We had like maybe 2 shirts, 2 designs, and that both started when I was in high school. We both was in high school. Then when I went out to college and he went out to do his thing, like we had the creative sense, it's just the business sense of it, Like when you at that age, you really don't know the financial literacy of it when it comes to minorities, especially a lot of us African Americans. We wasn't taught that in school when it comes to financial literacy about business. Really, you got to learn about that, self-educate yourself, So when it comes to that, we didn't know how that worked. Because I went for a loan when I was going to school in Chattanooga. I went for a loan with Score. It was Score International, and
was that a clothing company?
Nah, it's like a company, man. Like they approve you for loans and stuff. So if they like your business idea, they'll have people investing in it. You know what I'm saying? They'll invest in you. So it's basically like an investment firm in a way. But you know, they liked the idea, but it just didn't have enough groundwork. Basically, like, you know, we didn't really have enough quantity of clothing out to really let you know, like, okay, yeah, it looks good. I like the idea, but you know how much you made off of this. You know what I'm saying? So you know, then after that, years passed. You know, I came back home after school, moved back to the Spring Hill, Columbia area, and I was like, instead of doing clothing, let's do, you know, films and stuff. And I started doing short, you know, dropped my first project, Never Trust a Big Button Smile, that Juke was on. My man Juke, shout out to Juke.
Is that the Adventures of the Sneakerhead?
Nah, that's we did Imaginary Sneakerhead after that, and the Mad Sneakerhead. So
that's what it was.
Yeah. So the Mad Sneakerhead is the one actually Juke started in with me and your sister Jalecia, J Lee, man. She did a lot of the video work for that one. But yeah, so that's what it involved in, because you know it costs less. It really costs less. Like clothing at the time, you know, I didn't really have the means of it. Me and my man E, when we went off to school, you know what I'm saying, we was broke at the time, to be honest, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, by doing films and short films, it was kind of easier. Then also social media started really growing. You know, you had Facebook, you know, Instagram started popping, I believe, around that time frame, Twitter, then also YouTube. So that was the avenue. That's how we kind of built our fan base. Then we transitioned it back into clothing. So, you know, so that's what Grailz is basically. Grailz Inc. is a portal. It's a portal for, you know, people who really have a passion for the sneaker culture, and we want to create like a bridge when it comes to that, and also people that don't know about it. So, when it comes to, you know, documentaries, short films, shows like the one we have now, Yo, It's the Kicks, which been doing great on social media. Bridge between all of that for people who are really into the culture, and also people who just want to be entertained as well and want to learn something new. So it's kind of like a bridging the gap between all those different environments at one time.
Man, that's like a central hub for all of that.
Yeah.
You know? Now I will say what I think is one of the reasons I really wanted to have an interview with you is because all of that stuff right over my head. You start shouting out LRG and 10 Deeps, and I'm just kind of like, so I think this would be great for a person like me who just is on the outside. You know, I don't know if I could ever enter that world without sullying it. You know, what are some of the key points, like, in getting started in this sort of thing?
Really, to be honest, man, to get started in the sneaker world, and also just fashion, because it's all the same. It's intertwined, right? Fashion, all of that, really the same. But specifically sneakers, if you want to get into it, I would say network, right? Network with many people that's in the industry, right? You want to use your connections. I know I heard DJ Clark Kent once said, and DJ Clark Kent's like a music legend. He was played a big part in Biggie Smalls' career, J-Zilla, and also he's a sneaker aficionado. So he do a lot of groundwork for the sneaker community, sneaker industry as a whole. But he was like, man, building network and relationships is more valuable than money when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? It really is. And I thought about, like, damn, that really is that hit me. You know what I'm saying? And it really is, because if you build those relationships with these people, right, and if you stay on good terms with them because the industry is really small, the sneaker industry, all that intertwines between music, entertainment, all of that, right? It all intertwines. So if someone see you doing something great on your platform, could be an independent platform, and they remember you, and they know that, hey, you stayed in contact with them, you showed them nothing but love, you're a good person, they're gonna remember you. So when something come up, you're gonna be in their back pocket. You know what I'm saying? Which that could lead you to do something really great as far as with building your platform. So that's one thing I try to tell people, really, man, make sure to build relationships in this industry. You know what I'm saying? Build, you know, be professional too. You know what I'm saying? You got to, you really do, because, you know, it'd be a lot of times that, hey, I want to wild out. You know what I'm saying? But I know if I do this, if I say certain stuff and put it on the internet, they ain't gonna never be erased. People are always gonna remember that. So if something comes up, like a company want to do a deal, or whatever, they'd be like, "Yo, you remember what he said this about this person?"
Right.
Air their business out. So what if something don't go right between me and him? Is he gonna do the same thing to what I build in my company? So you got to
Right.
think about that too. You got to move smart. Because that could come back and get you, especially starting out. And you don't wanna do that. So I would say that, and also just bet on yourself, man. Be confident in yourself. And I hear people be like, "Yo, maybe you don't need to be doing this. Maybe you need to look into something else." How you gonna tell me what to do? You know what I'm saying? Don't put your fears on me. You know what I'm saying? If you confident in it and you positive in yourself and you know that, hey, this is fail proof, then stay with it. Stay in the industry, because it's really difficult to really get in the industry. It really is. So you want to make sure that you stay confident in yourself, because you're going to hear the answer no. You're going to be turned down. You know what I'm saying? That's going to happen unless, you know what I'm saying, your parents like work for like a major sneaker company or some shit like that. But that's going to happen. So you want to bet on yourself, and you want to make sure that what you're doing is different from everyone else. Like, what are you doing that's going to separate you from everyone else? You know what I'm saying? And I always say that you got to do something that's going to separate yourself. That's what I kind of always focus on Grailz. Like, yeah, it's a lot of different podcasts out. It's a lot of podcasts in general. It's a lot of people got shows around sneakers. You got sneaker shopping with Complex. You got Full Size Run with Soul Collector. I could keep going. You got the Sneaker Box Radio. Shout out to my man African Caesar. You got him doing his thing. You got so many different people. But what's going to separate you from them? And that's what I always think about. You know what I'm saying? And I know what separates me from many other different shows is that my show got layers, got different layers. I'm from the South. Not a lot of people from the South that's really doing it, talking about sneakers. So people don't really think about, like, hey, we have a hub down here, but we do, right?
Absolutely.
So, and I think with me, I'm able to blend in with so many people from different backgrounds, from the East, from the West, from the North, from men and women. So I just don't want to spotlight men on my show. I want to spotlight women on my show, and I want to spotlight the Black and brown community. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the Black culture and Latino markets, because we are the ones that really built this sneaker culture. Like, we built hip hop. Like I said, hip hop is a huge influence. It's the reason why sneaker industry is worth over billions and billions of dollars, right? If a kid from the suburbs see Lil Baby rocking the new whatever, right? They gonna be like, I want those shoes because Lil Baby got them on. They see Travis Scott with the new Travis Scott limited edition joints from Nike. Yo, I gotta get those, right? Because hip hop is the cool thing. It's always been, right? And who built hip hop? Black and Latinos, right? They're the ones who built it. If you think about the four elements, you think about DJing, graffiti, MCing, what else? Was it breakdancing? That's the four elements, I believe. All played a big part in building hip hop. So, and that's one thing I always want to have those type of figures on my show. Like today, I got Spanish Ren on my show, who is a executive in the music industry. He's A&R for Roc Nation, and J-Zilla Records, which Ninth Wonder runs J-Zilla Records, and Roc Nation, Jay-Z runs Roc Nation. So, that's one thing I'm really big on, and that would separate me from everyone else, because I see that they just go for the people with the huge name and stuff. I'm like, I want to go with the people who really passionate about it. I understand why they go for the mainstream, right? Build business. I have people with a good mainstream name, but I want to go out to people who I'm really a fan of and I've been inspired from as well. So, yeah. So that's what I would say, man. That all those elements helps when you get into industry. Think about all of that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would say. And listen. Be a good listener as well.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you. You like listen. I thought you were about to say like, okay,
no.
Be a good listener.
Not that I'm just saying be a good listener. Yeah, be a good listener for real. Communication is everything, man. You want to make sure you listen to these people. You know what I'm saying? That's at these high boards and have success in the industry, man. A good listener is everything.
Is that what makes Clubhouse worth it? Because I haven't dabbled in it really. I'm a little worried about it, about being addicted to it.
I mean, I mean, I was on Clubhouse. When I first got on it, I wasn't really creating rooms and stuff like that,
Mm.
but I was just listening in, just observing. I'm a person that always observe. I mean, it do have some good rooms where people is dropping gems. You gotta know who those people are. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? It'd be a lot of people that kind of behind the scenes that's doing really dope groundwork, right? In whatever industry it is, could be the tech world, could be when it comes to stocks, could be when it comes to fashion, music, or whatever. But you can't just go in every room and just take this person's advice because you got a lot of people talking about stuff they haven't really did nothing. They haven't really laid no found where they just
Oh.
saying stuff because it just sounds great. So how I'm gonna listen to you when you haven't did the work? You know what I'm
Right. No
saying? So
portfolio.
like I be no nothing. Then I be seeing rooms where people like, they like, hey, give me your best idea.
Yeah.
Like they have rooms where people giving their ideas. Like, why you giving your idea to someone else that you don't know?
Yeah.
They could easily take your idea and use it for their own greater good.
Because people like to be
Like,
listened
is this?
to. Like without even realizing they're giving away some potentially some intellectual property that the
Yes,
idea that someone asked me and they're listening to my ideas. Some people that's as far as they ever want to take it. Just the seeming like I'm something is enough for some people.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not gonna give you my idea and you say, hey, I'm gonna, you feel me, like,
I'm gonna run with it. Oh, that's a good
like
idea.
giving your idea, I'm gonna
Quick, get the
run with
patent.
it. Yeah,
Get the
like, that's a good
patent.
idea. Like, yeah, get the pad. Like, who are you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, I'm not doing that. That's crazy to me. So it's some of those rooms I'd be like, man, nah. But some of the rooms is pretty cool because you can connect, you can network with people. I know people that's been on it. They've been able to network and stuff like
Mm.
that with other individuals. So I mean, you just got to be conscious. You just got to be conscious. It's
Yeah.
like how you move in the real world. You can't really just trust everyone with your information. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You got to just move accordingly. So that's how it is on Clubhouse. That's how I look at it. So
I was just talking to a fellow podcaster, and he was talking about trying to throw some bones to people, and then kind of I guess kind of putting using his name to give someone else an opportunity, and then that person not coming through. What's the like?
mm,
What do you do in those situations? And I guess I should ask first. Have you been in those situations? And what do you do? Are you cutting the person off? How many chances do you give them? Like how does AB handle it?
man, I'm a compassionate person, man. I'm definitely forgiving. I really am. I think a lot of black people are.
Yeah.
That's just how we grew up, just forgiving, dog. To be
Hmm.
honest. For real, everything that we are forgive, we are some forgiving people, dog. But
Yeah,
I'm
man.
just saying, like, but like I mean, it's tough, man. Because it's been situations where I did that for people, and I wouldn't say I'm trying to think if it ever went like left. I really can't say like if it went left. Maybe it went somewhere. Maybe I didn't agree with. You know what I'm saying? Or seeing eye to eye with. But at the end of the day, right? You can't control people's emotions. You can't control how they react. They're human at the day, right? It would be nice if I could control them like a video game, but I
Yeah.
can't. It's like you just gotta move on. Sometimes you gotta separate yourself from that person. Just let them, make their mistakes. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So that's how I look at it like that. I try not to. You gotta do something really crazy for me, scandalous for me to just to throw away the key. I like this, man. I know what's in my heart. As long as what I did was pure, that's all they will. Oh, that person do with it. That's on them. You feel me? If they don't come through, that's gonna look bad on them. At the end of the day, it's really ain't gonna look bad on me. I threw them the key. They didn't want to drive it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't want to, build their own. So that's how I look at it, man. Because it's gonna happen. People gonna
Yeah.
fail you. That's just how it is. They ain't perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just gotta keep moving. You gotta keep doing your thing.
That's good, man. My uncle, rest in peace, Uncle Gerald out there. He used to always say, you under promise and over deliver. He said, nephew, let me tell
Yeah.
you something, man. Somebody needs something by Friday, you promise it to him by Sunday and give it to him on Thursday. And I was like, okay,
Mm.
I'll see you, Unc. So I know it's frustrating for me, personally, to make it because I feel like I'm playing by a certain set of rules, right? I'm gonna put out what I want back. You know, I'm gonna try to be as professional and all the things, right? So when it doesn't get returned, it doesn't even go to anger first. It goes to just disappointment. It's like, oh man, you could have really done something with this, man. That client that you just tossed away could have really elevated you, man. Just those sort of things, I try not to let it take it personally, but I can't help it. I feel the full brunt of it. And even if I'm talking to the someone and be like, hey, sorry, about my guy, I'll try to do better next time. Say, oh no, it's all good. We worked it out, blah blah blah. But I still always feel worse than the other people involved. So that's something I'm working on. So I don't want to take that home or anything.
Or better yet, it's like if you try to, throw something for someone else and that person that you thought that was going to help him or her don't come through. Like that person on the other side don't come through. I think that's the most kind of like, come on now. Like, because you said you was going to help this person I referred to you, but you didn't come through, on the other side. So that's probably like most disappointing to me because I'm like, this could have potentially changed this person's life or person business. You know what I'm saying? But
right,
that's yeah. But it goes both ways though. But I like that. I like that analogy that what your grandpop said. That's really
yeah. Hang on, AB. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. It was breaking up a little, but I could hear you.
I don't know what's going on. I apologize. Let me shut this camera down and try to get it back going.
Yeah,
no problem. Can you still see me?
No, I can't see you no more.
Oh man, we were on a roll too.
No, we was, man.
Okay. The camera itself is frozen. Oh, okay. Well, you got a little technology.
I'm saying the Teddy Riley issues going on, man. I call it Teddy Riley issues now. Whenever a technical situation happens, I'm like, it's Teddy Riley issues, Teddy Riley man.
Effect.
Yeah, the Teddy Riley effect, man.
Okay, that looks good there. Okay, can you see me now?
Oh, hey, we back. I see you, dog.
And we're frozen. We're unfrozen. Why is you doing me like this? Not on AB. Any other guest, man. Any other guest. Come on.
Man, this is... Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Don't scare me, bro. What's happening?
I mean, you might have go off camera like Dean, dog. You might do like Dean be doing, man. You might do like Dean be doing, dog.
You corrupted my stuff, man. You
might have do it like Dean, man. Go off camera on you.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
I had
yeah.
I just said, forget it. I busted out, I dusted off an old, what do you call it, a rack. And had to have that fool on speakerphone and just say, man, let's just go. That gummit, I can't wait on you. I can't wait on you. Like, we're getting invited to shows, and I'm just like, sorry. Because, one, I don't like going on things without him. He's definitely a personality when I can get him out of his own way.
Man, Dean always had that personality since I knew him in high school. Always.
Crazy, man. That dude crazy. He's something else. So I literally, I was like, man, we got to start going live. So we just did like a surprise live thing. We're not even promoting the show or anything. It's just all ridiculous. But we're getting better.
But that's the best thing though. Sometimes stuff just happens. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's probably like that's the beauty of it. You know what I'm saying? That you learning and growing.
Yeah.
It really is.
I had that itchy feeling of, just do it, I'm talking to Mr. Yo, it's the kid, so I had that Nike just do it. Just do it. Don't think about it.
Just do it, man.
Yeah, man.
Don't think about it, bro. Just do it.
So for you, we'll bring you in on this next question. I want to be mindful of your time. For you, family man, businessman, college man, you got all the titles, right? How do you find the balance? This is something I try to ask all my guests because I'm constantly looking for. So the more different answers I get. It really helps me out. So, how do you find balance between all of those things?
Man, I mean, to be honest, I always say this. Like, because I have a day job, you know what I'm saying? I work in the corporate world. So, like, in day, I'm still working from home currently. So, I'll be on my Zoom meetings and stuff like that. Then, after that is done, I try to shut it down, like, period. I don't bring work into personal life, right? Into family time, into family life. So that's one thing I always, me and my wife talks about, like, do not bring family work life into family life, because you could have a bad day and that could drag into when you're trying to spend time with your kids, because you're still thinking about that situation that's at work that's irking
Mm-hmm.
you. And that's going to affect how you react to your kids, how you act towards your wife, your spouse, just in general, your girlfriend, whatever it is, right? So it could get to you. The next thing you know, you're not even conscious of what you're doing. Hey, you neglecting your kids.
Man.
They keep telling you, daddy, daddy. You're not even responding. They trying to play with you. You're not even trying to play because of what happened at work, or you think about what's going on
Right.
with work. You just gotta shut it down, and just pull your phone away, your work phone, your laptop. Don't even look at it. So that's one thing I try to do when it comes to that aspect. And it's tough, man. But that's one thing I try to do, and it helps. Even when it comes to Grailz Inc,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because after I'm done with day work, Grailz Inc, because I still be doing work while whenever I have spare time doing my day job. I got to post stuff on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, social media. I still got to reach out to people to try to get guests
Mm-hmm.
for the coming weeks. You know what I'm saying? I got to think about these different ideas. Okay, how I'm going to spend, how I'm going to able to make this show better than the last show. So I try to have time where I just put the phone away. I just put the phone in the bedroom, and I go in the living room with the girls, or in their bedroom, or have movie time with my wife. You know what I'm saying? So I try to leave all that stuff in the back. I would say the biggest thing though, Gales, is when it comes to having your own business or doing some type of entrepreneurship,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if it's just you doing the groundwork, it's like a 24/7 job
Yeah.
damn near. But you gotta have limits. You gotta have, no, people said it's no sleep. But if you got a family, if you got a wife, you got kids or whatever, then sometimes you gotta hit that reset button. You know what I'm saying? Like that pause button. You gotta make sure you gotta find that time. So that's the balance I would say. I would say when you're done with work, just leave it all behind for that time being and worry about it tomorrow.
Man, dope
You
advice
know
from
what
a
I'm
dope
saying?
dude. I like it. I
Yeah,
like it. Check it in at
yeah,
the door, and make sure you put your dad hat on, your husband hat on. All,
exactly.
that's really good. So what's the motivation? Because this is one thing I'm finding with all of my guests. All of y'all seem to be pretty motivational. So I'm very curious as to what is it that motivates you. And I'm gonna couple or handcuff that with another question. Why are shoes so important to you?
I guess to answer the first part of the question, like, you know, what motivates me is really, man, always, man, when I was younger, no girls, always felt like, man, I always had like an entrepreneur spirit. Always been like against the system in a way. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if I'm doing something,
Yeah.
I need to do it. I need to have a passion for it. I need to have a love for it. I just don't need to do this particular job just to bring home the money, which I was doing when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? In college and stuff, working, jobs and stuff like that. Because it's a lot of people, man, that at jobs, they might get paid good, but they unhappy. Where that comes from, right? It comes from their personal self, because they doing something. They feel like, hey, yeah, I might be getting paid good or whatever, but this is something that I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like permanent. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure you find something that help balance that, right? Do something. You know what I'm saying? That hey, this could probably bring me bonus as a bonus money, right? Or it could create avenue for me to build a platform where I don't want to have to work my day job or whatever, right?
Right.
So what motivates me is really, I want to be in a position where, man, I'm doing this for a living, full time. And that keeps motivating me. And also I want to build a platform that people ain't never seen before, something that I could leave to my kids, something where I could generate wealth for. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Not just getting rich, shit, because we seen in the past people, shit, they'll go broke being rich. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Tyson blew 400 million. You know what I'm
That's such a
saying? But
case.
you ain't gonna blow a. But you ain't gonna blow a wealth. You ain't gonna blow wealth. You know what I'm saying? They ain't happening. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The Goldsteins or the Rothschilds, they ain't blowing wealth. They
Right.
you could spend millions and millions every. They ain't going nowhere. So, you know, that's what motivates me, man. I just want to do that because at the end of the day, it's bigger than me. It's really about my kids and my wife. You know, about my family. Like
Mm-hmm.
Dame Dash once said, "You gotta hustle for your last name. You can't hustle for your first name." Because your
Oh
first name ain't
man.
gonna stand. Your last name is gonna stand forever. Because you're gonna pass that down from generation to generation. You know, nobody gonna remember Albert, but they gonna remember my last name. You feel me? So
Okay. Okay.
that's what motivate me, man. You know, at the end of the day, hustle for your last name. That's your first. You know,
I'm about to
and
steal that.
when it comes, yeah, most definitely, man, most definitely. Shout out to Dame Dash.
Look, I know I don't want him sticking any lawyers on us.
Exactly. So I had to say that right then and there. But as far as the sneakers aspect, man, what gravitate towards sneakers for me, I gotta say it started with my brothers. You know, growing up, I had two older brothers, and they was like 10 and 13 years older than I was. So everything they did, you know, I looked up to. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like my dad and my brothers was my heroes. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, and with my brothers, you know, like I said, they 10, 13 years older than me. They grew up in the 80s and 90s culture where hip hop was a huge
Man,
influence, you know what I'm
so
saying?
fun.
Um, you feel me? So being around them, I always want to be fly because they was the flyest dudes. They had Coogee on. You know, this when like Biggie was rocking Coogee. They had that. They had First Down jackets, Pelly Pels. You know, you don't see that. You don't see that in the South. You see that like on the East Coast markets. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or maybe Midwest markets. But they just was always on the latest fashion. I'm like, yo, like I gotta get fly like that. So that was started for me. But really what got me over the hump to maybe really want to be like, yo, I really love this. Like I love this culture because it's bigger than just sneakers, it's a culture as well. How you move, how you act,
Right.
how you walk. You know what I'm saying? Um my man E. Shout out to my man E, you know, aka somebody known as Clipper E, you know what I'm
Clifford
saying, on
E.
social media. But you know, he was a huge sneakerhead when ever since I knew him back in elementary school because I knew him since kindergarten. You know, we went to Brown Elementary.
Mm.
So when I moved to, you know, to the Spring Hill area, and he moved out there too, like a couple years later, like in middle
Mm-hmm.
school. And I remember he had some Raptor sevens, and he was breaking down just everything behind it. And I was like in seventh grade, I think. You know what I'm saying? Going into the eighth grade, he was breaking down just everything behind this thing. I'm like, damn, like I like sneakers. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
think they
saying? But
look
I
nice.
didn't
They're
know that.
comfortable. I didn't know.
Yeah, they look
I didn't know
nice.
that this
I
design
didn't
was
know
because
about
of
that.
this and that. Yeah.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, and that really just took me over the hump. That really got me really into sneakers, and not only just knowing the actual sneaker, but know the designs, the quality. All right, who designed this sneaker? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? When was it designed? How did they design it? So I want to know everything about it. So that really what got me into sneakers. Those two situations, my brothers and my homie E. Then also, you
Yeah.
know, hip hop, basketball. You know, we both play ball, so
Yeah.
all of that. So, but yeah,
I love that.
basketball. You know, we both play ball, so
Yeah.
all of that. So, but yeah,
I love that. So the emotion of the times, right? You're listening to music that
mm-hmm.
moves you emotionally. You're seeing your brothers and your father dress
Yep,
well and like just man, I don't know what it is about it, but I'm drawn to it. And then you get some
yeah,
factual things from your boy either that it's a whole reason. Like nothing about this shoe is just patching together some dead cow skin. Like this is here for a reason. That's here for it. Is this
yeah,
color because of that? Like the backstories, it's like a whole separate universe. So I can, man,
yeah.
just hearing you talk about it makes me excited. Even though I'm so like out of my depth. It's ridiculous. I have an overload. I'm taking notes here, man. I'm sitting here like, okay, I gotta look at all this stuff because this is
Yeah,
really
man.
interesting.
It's really it's many layers into it. And a lot of people don't really understand. Like, hey, why are you gonna be so? Some people like why you attach to some material. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Well, it's just like where people might be attached to a damn Birkin bag or to a purse. It's a
Okay.
material as well too,
Yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? Or they might be into tech. Shit, that's material as well too. Same reason why you attach to that. That's why a lot of
Yeah.
people gravitate towards sneakers. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many different layers when it comes to it. So yeah, man, it's really amazing when you get into it, when you just really see from other people their expression, their emotions, and they see a certain sneaker take them back that particular time that they seen it years ago. So yeah.
Man, that is so cool. Because I'm telling you, I was just never really exposed. Like, I would see them like, oh, those look cool. Especially back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, coming up, I had, maybe a couple of pair of shoes. And you wore them until they were worn out. That's how I came up.
Yes.
But, like, looking at someone
Yes.
like our boy Dean, man, and just, like, when I first went to his house and saw those just stacks and stacks and stacks of shoes, I was like, what is all this? Like, how is your life so different? What is going on here, man? But yeah, that's great. You mentioned a designer. Who is your favorite designer, if you can possibly pick one?
Okay, you talking about like sneaker designer
Yeah.
or just
You could do. Let's do
sneaker
this. Let's
designer.
do one sneaker and one like fashion line that just, every time you just think about it, it's like, yeah, that's my stuff right there.
Yeah, sneaker designer, man. I probably gotta say, Tinker Hatfield. I gotta go with Tinker Hatfield. Tinker Hatfield is number one for me. You know what I'm saying? I think what Tinker did was game changing. And for the people who don't know who Tinker Hatfield is, he's a designer for Nike. So he's responsible for the greatest Jordans of all time. He designed Jordan number 3 all the way to, I want to say, 15. Then also he started back and did the 20s as well. Did the Jordan 20s, I believe. No, Jordan 23. It was the Jordan 23s he did as well. But yeah, from Jordan 3 to 15, it was just Jordan 11s and Space Jam. He did that.
Oh,
that's Tinker.
Okay.
So he did the Space Jams. He did the 11s, just the whole 11s. So this dude is amazing. So he's the reason why Nike is number one in the sneaker world. Not only Jordan, but he's the reason for that as well too. Like, he deserved the credit just like Jordan, because he's responsible for everyone buying that Jumpman. Like, they know that sign when it's up in the air like that. And Tinker is a huge reason for that. He's actually a reason for Jordan staying at Nike. Like, it was rumors that Jordan was about to leave Nike after his second design, because the Jordan 1 sold. It did great, right? It was like groundbreaking, but Nike still was behind Adidas. Adidas was huge in the urban communities, in the black and brown communities. The reason why: hip hop, Run DMC, right? My Adidas, right? Run DMC changed how everyone dressed during that era. So Adidas was leading the wave. And Jordan was an Adidas guy. He liked it Adidas, and he liked it Converse as well too, because he wore Converse at North Carolina. But Bruce Kilgore and Peter Moore left Nike, and those two ones who did the Jordan 1s and Jordan 2s, they was responsible for those two designs. Okay. So Jordan was growing discontent with Nike after the second Jordan, because that was it was lukewarm responses, which I'm a fan of the Jordan 2s, by the way. But Jordan really liked that shoe, I think, because he got injured too that season. He missed most of the season.
Well, you know how us athletes can be very superstitious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, nah,
very
man, change that shoe right now.
Right. Change that shoe. And when that shoe came out, it didn't have the Jumpman logo on it. And people were like, why you took away the Jumpman logo? That's how you identify stuff, right? Like, why did you do it?
Yeah.
So, it was made in Italy. So it's kind of like a high fashion shoe in a way when you think about it, right? So he was thinking about leaving. Then Tinker came in and showed him the sample of the Jordan 3s. It was like, yo, I'm staying. But Jordan was going to be out the door. So that's why, to me, he's the greatest designer because of all of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Tinker Hatfield, when it comes to sneakers. Fashion, that's a tough one, man. So many great fashion designers, man. Shoots, bro. Like, I like Jeff Staple a lot. Jeff Staple, he's, responsible for Staples, the Pigeon, probably one of the most craziest sneaker releases of all time. But you also have a clothing line called Staple. I gotta say, I like Virgil. I like Virgil a lot. Virgil Abloh, I like him. He's a creator of Off-White. Yeah, he's probably one of the hottest guys right now. I like Virgil a lot, man. I mean, it's so many different ones, man. I love Dapper Dan. If I gotta say a fashion, probably Dapper Dan number one for me. Dapper Dan is like the illest cat. I think so, man. If you don't know about Dapper Dan, Google him, man.
No,
Because
that's the name that just
yeah,
rings out though. Yeah.
Dapper. Like Dapper was known, Gales, for doing all like the street cats, the cats who was really in the streets, like moving major weight back really on the East Coast.
Yeah.
He was doing all the designs for like in New York. Then the hip hop cats seen that. Because back in that time, rappers want to be like the dudes that's on the block. They want to dress like them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then Rakim and Eric B on that legendary cover of Paid in Full. If you've seen that cover of them, they had them Dapper Dan designed that. He designed a lot of their stuff.
Oh, okay.
So he designed stuff for LL. You know what I'm saying? Whoever was Mike Tyson. That's where Mike Tyson beat up Mitch Green in front of Dapper Dan's store, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
So,
wait,
yeah.
Mitch, the guy like the boxer who was
taunting Mike Tyson.
Yeah. Trying to calling the names and fighting in the street.
Yeah. They got a fight outside Dapper Dan's store, if I'm not mistaken.
That's funny.
But Dap probably my favorite fashion designer. He actually worked with Gucci. Just recently, I think he's still with Gucci right now. So Dap designed for Beyonce, designed for J-Z.
Oh man.
He came really back into the mainstream a couple years ago after that Gucci deal. Puffy, Floyd Mayweather, name it. Like, if you got your joint done by Dap, you official. So
yeah.
Dapper Dan probably number one. Yeah, number one without a question, Dapper Dan. I gotta say that. But
awesome.
It's a lot of dope up and comers out right now, though. I will say that, like crazy.
Shout out one in particular that's just like, man, watch out for this dude. I know I hate to put you on the spot.
I know, man. It's so many, but if I gotta say one though, I think he already done arrived. I got like a couple, but I gotta say Joe Freshgoods from Chicago. Joe Freshgoods did like a crazy collaboration with New Balance last year. It actually was on my top 10 sneaker list, but everything that he's been touching been crazy. He actually did a collaboration with Converse just recently from Chicago. I don't know what it is, Gail. That's in Chicago. But it's some creative cats out in Chicago, bro. Like Virgil from Chicago, Kanye from Chicago, Joe Freshgoods from Chicago, Ivy and Jasper from Chicago, Just Don. All these people I'm naming is like still cats when it comes to fashion and just creatives. But yeah, Joe Freshgoods, shout out to my man Chasing Cash. I think Chasing Cash is really dope. He was a producer at first. So he was known for he did the track for Lil Wayne and Eminem. What's that one track? The whole Drop the World on Your Head or something like that. I forgot what it was called.
Had
the track
like the rock
yeah.
To it.
Yeah.
Man,
Chasing Cash did he responsible for that. Him and Hit Boy.
Okay.
They was part of a production crew, so he produced for Drake, a lot of Dom Kennedy, Kendrick Lamar. But he transitioned to clothing now. So he got a line called Can't Buy Respect, which is really dope. So I like him a lot. I like this other dude named Kool Kai. Kool Kai got a lot of dope stuff. He's responsible for bringing a lot of your black college sweaters back. When you see them sweaters say support black colleges, he's responsible for that. Yeah, Kool Kai. And he got his own sneaker line too. So I got shout out to Kool Kai, man. He doing his thing. So I think those cats is like really gonna do great things in the sneaker and fashion industry just as a whole.
That is amazing, man. That was a gauntlet of information, and I know that's just like the tip of the iceberg, man. In your world, man. That's a good introduction to it. I never knew those Space Jam Jordans were the Jordan 11s. Like I'm tell you how bad I am, man. I'm just learning that there are the different numbers for the Jordans.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's 30. I think it's 35 now. It's up to 35.
35 sneakers. Does that include like the retros and all of that?
Yeah, the retros is part of that.
Okay.
So they call them retros because they came out, like for example, the Jordan 1s came out in 84. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, what Nike be like, they'll say, hey, we're gonna release the Jordan 1s again. Let's say in the past, we're gonna drop them in 1992, right? Mm-hmm. So this is the first time they re-releasing again. So they gave them the name Retro because they came out years ago, right? So we're gonna retro these.
Okay.
So yeah, they
Yeah.
numbers. All the Jordans that's retro, there are numbers mostly. I mean, they have retro some team Jordans too, ankle front. So, but that's what a retro is basically. But most of your retros is numbers though.
That's so ridiculous, man. I
Yeah,
mean, it's so like one of these things of you scratch the surface, and the more you learn about this stuff, the more you realize you don't know. So
yeah,
you gotta forgive me,
yeah.
man. This
It's
is
a
like,
lot, man. No, it's that's what we really at Grailz Inc. Man. What I want to provide is that also shout out to my big brother Draymond Fly. He played a big role in Grailz Inc. too. He helped develop Yo is the Kicks with me. So shout out to my big brother Draymond Fly. That's the one who I was very influenced by when it comes to the sneaker industry.
right,
But it's to educate people because people don't know. You know what I'm saying? They think, hey, it's like I said, just material, just cloth. But it's so much deeper than that for a lot of people that really have a passion for it. So, excuse me. So our job is really to educate people. You know what I'm saying? Just let them know about it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So, and that's the cool thing about it, man, because there's so many interesting facts about sneakers and fashion in general, right? It's so interesting when you learn about something, you want to keep learning about it.
right.
So that's one thing that I'm really big on when it comes to that.
Look, that's awesome, man. Because the first thing I ever, the first time I ever thought about the expanded universe of fashion was The Devil Wears Prada. That movie.
Yeah.
When she breaks it down about, because she kind of scoffs, it's just a belt. Just a belt. And she looks over her, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but like, this chick is breaking down, where it was made and why the designer came, and just, shut her down. I thought, like, dang, is this? And it always made me think, it made me think that, like, is this how it really is in that world, And so that's why I like, media, TV, music, and all of that thing. It makes me go, kind of points me in the direction of where to seek out some real answers, So
Yeah.
it made me look into fashion. It made me look, get on my Google searches, right? And I always enjoy stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really dope, man.
Let's switch gears for a minute. You, entrepreneur, if you were a car personified, what type of car would you be?
What type of car?
Yeah.
Wow. Woo, that's a good one, man. I probably got to say probably a Camaro Outright Z or a Monte Carlo SS. I want to say, 80, correct me if I'm wrong, 86 model. It's the one that Denzel had in Training Day.
Oh, see, I'm the wrong person to ask for that, bro.
So it's the same with the Monte Carlo SS, the same joint that Denzel had in Training Day. It got to be one of those two cars because those like muscle cars, right?
Yeah.
And they still stand a test of time. Those cars was really innovative, kind of how they was built. You know what I'm saying? As far as the speed, the horsepower, and just how it looks. It looks beautiful. Like I feel like those cars came out right now, it would be still amazing. People would be like, "Oh my goodness, like what is that?" Like every time you see an Outright Z on the road, my dad got an Outright. So whenever you see an Outright Z, you got an Outright Z. So I gotta make sure I'm saying that Outright Z, which is different just from my Outright. You got an Outright Z, so a T-top joint. So when you see it out in the road, you just be like, "Yo, like an Outright Z, like."
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. It's still like, you know what I'm saying? You're just gonna have all those different reactions. So he got it when it was brand new. Like it's older than me.
Man.
He got it. It's older than me, dog. So he got it like in '86, I think, and brand new. At that time when my family was staying in Flint, Michigan, brand new. You know what I'm saying? So you had that joint brand new. You was doing it. So that's a car that's like, I think if I had to compare myself to a car, it got to be that. Yeah, it got to be that.
Right,
I like Mercedes. I like Mercedes Benz, but I gotta pick those two cars if I had to, compare myself to a car.
It's something about like what you become attached to, and it's one of those things like you can't help it. Like of course, Aston Martin and Mercedes and all these things they have a certain reputation, right? It kind of like you said, like you were talking about before with the designers, some stuff that once you get on with them, it makes you official, right? But there are
Yeah,
things that are just near and dear to your heart. You can't really explain why. You just know when I see this car, that it just takes my breath away. And I'm looking at my man's over
man.
here on the monitor. And, look, excuse me for keep looking at the monitor. I don't know, that's a tick or something. But when I look at you, like, man, you got the fresh cut with the jersey on, that big old smile that
Yeah,
you're
man, got
famous
the first
for.
cut.
Yeah, like I can see it.
Thank you, man. Got
That's a
to.
good car.
Yeah, shout out to Clipper E, man. My man E hooked me on the cut, so shout out to Clipper E.
Yeah, man. And you know what? That reminds me. I want to go back a little bit. Look at my notes here.
Yeah.
When you were talking about, utilizing the main job and realizing when y'all went to secure some funds to start your venture, that you didn't have that portfolio and you didn't have the, I guess the credentials is the way of saying it.
Yeah.
Talk about how you utilize your funds to kind of pump it back into your passion until hopefully the passion becomes your main source of income.
Yeah, man. I think with that, man, I try to manage my money anyways, right? So when it comes to that, I gotta make sure everything is straight, like the bills, right? But if I'm looking for something like, for example, like a target date for the summertime to drop some clothing out. So right now, I know I got like a couple of months, right? Right, about 5 months I got, right, to maximize
Mm-hmm.
it before the summer ends, which the last month of the summertime is August, right? So I look at it like this, like, okay, I save maybe 50 to 100, right? Every paycheck,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or maybe a 150 to 200, just whatever, just throwing an example out,
Right.
right? Put that into my business account, right? Okay. I already got it calculated what I'm going to buy, t-shirts, shorts. All right, I'm getting them for this particular price, wholesale or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I make sure that I have that saved up at least before this month ends. Because I like to start stuff ahead of time, right? Because I love the marketing aspect. I like getting a photo shoot. I like getting a lookbook out. You know what I'm saying? So I have all these different things that I could put out. Okay, I could send some free gear off to some of my homies that's influencers, right? They got a
Mm-hmm.
good following on social media, so they can model it, right? Then also I got some people that's in the local area that can model it. So I'm hitting you from all different aspects, nationwide, locally. So that's how I do it when I try to manage something, right? I make sure I have something for short term. I save this amount for this week.
Uh-huh.
Okay. How much I need to have when this month is over? I need to have $500 saved.
Okay.
Okay. I'm saving 100 week by week, right? Usually a month is like 6 weeks. So I'm saving 100 week by week. So at least I got 500 to 600. I might put a little more, 800, 1,000. Boom, I'm good, right? Do it another week, 2,000, right? While I'm doing that, I'm calculating all my marketing as well too. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be
Yeah.
precise. I want to be precise with it. So that's how I usually do it when it comes to that. So I make sure everything is paid up, but I got to be disciplined. When it comes to the latest sneakers, I can't get that right now. When it comes to t-shirts, I can't get that right now, right? If I do need to buy something, I'm buying it for my kids or my wife, when it comes to clothing or whatever, when it comes to material stuff. But for me, you got to sacrifice, right? Because
Right.
you got to get scruffy. Like Nipsey Hussle said, you got to get scruffy on these. He said, on these hoes, you got to get scruffy on these hoes for a minute. You got to,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, then in the summertime, you're going to be looking good because you invested your money into your business. So, especially when you're independent, you don't got no distribution, right? You don't have no manager. You don't have that. So you don't got people pumping money into you. So you're gonna have to really be smart with it. You gotta be disciplined. You can't be going out, can't be doing none of that. You feel me? So
Right.
because it's all gonna pay off at the end of the day. So it's like I heard someone say, man, like if you got a dream, money is endless. It's endless. It's limited. It's no limit
Mm.
how much you can put in your business because it's your dream. Because he's going to take money. He's going to take something, right? When it comes to that, to really make your business into a real reality. So when I be seeing people like, man, I don't know, I'm going to put this money on, do this, and a lot of times it come out half-assed, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So that's how I look at it. Because they rather pay that money somewhere else when it comes to like going out or whatever, but you don't want to put that into your business, but you rather do that going out. Nah, bruh. Nah, I can't have that. Even if Grailz, if it fails, if I don't make the money back, at least I know.
Yeah.
I put this into my business. I know I put this work into it,
That's
right? And that ain't gonna stop me. Cause I know at the end of the day, someone copped it, someone bought it, and the word gonna go around, right? So when my next drop release, I already got my cult fan base from the last sale.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
You only need like 10%. You only need 10%, man.
Yeah.
10% of people, that's all you need, right? Really, to get started. If you got 10%, that number gonna keep growing. So a lot of people get mad if they drop something, they look for that fast money. It's not gonna come quick, man. You gotta be patient, right? And those people are gonna stick with you. I be hearing people, they say my supporters. They not my fans, they my supporters. Because anybody could be a fan, but it's not a lot of people that could be supporters, right? It's like an artist now. If they got 50,000 followers on Instagram, but only 5 to 10,000 of them actually buy their music. The fans, the other 40,000 liking their posts, commenting, but they're not supporting them.
Okay.
You're just a
That's
fan.
You're
not my supporter.
Yeah.
Just a fan.
That's a good distinction, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at Professor X, man. Professor X out here. So when you're going through all the, okay, so for someone like me who don't even understand how to get started, you know, when I hear terms like, you know, connects and all of this sort of thing, like, is there a way that you could dumb it down for someone like me? Like, what's a connect?
Yeah.
How do you get the connect? How do you trust the connect? Just, have you ever been got from a connect? You know, like, can you break all that down for me?
Yeah, so a connect, man, in the sneaker world, it's like your plug, right? I guess I could compare it like to the drug game. It's like if anybody watched Power or Snowfall, you know, Franklin is the top drug guy in his area, right?
Okay, yeah.
But he got to get the drugs from someone else who's higher than him.
Right.
That's on a higher food chain.
Right.
It's how it is in the sneaker world, right? I could be that main dude selling sneakers, or if I want to buy a sneaker, I know that, hey, my plug gonna have me. He gonna have my back.
Right.
He gonna hold these sneakers for me. He gonna let me know when they're dropping, how many is left.
Right.
You know, how, you know, just everything, which store to get it from or whatever, right? If he don't have it. So that's the plug. How do you get one? Back in the day, I'm gonna go back. So 10, 15, 20 years ago, before social media, this before everyone was a quote unquote sneakerhead, right? So like take the Middle Tennessee area, right? Which was a small market compared to your New York, your LA, your Detroits, or even your Atlantas of the world, right? So I know it was easier to get sneakers, you know, really easier. So, but by going into these stores like the Finish Lines, your Hibbits, or some of your mom and pop stops, your mom and pop shops, I used to build a relationship with the people that work there. So like the employees, the managers, because they'll notice you. If you come in there more than once, like a week, or even they'll notice you, and they see you like you stay fresh, you stay with the latest sneakers or the latest garments. They can be like, "Yo, he's a sneakerhead," or "He's into it," and they see you buying stuff. They're gonna come to you most of the time, or you can strike up that conversation. You know what I'm saying? So that's how people start noticing me. They're like, yo, you know, I seen you was in here the past week, man. You got the new Jordan 8s, you know what I'm saying? And you know, we getting this release this week or whatever, right? So by doing that, I'm building a relationship. They trusted me because they know I'm gonna cop whenever something comes out, right? So usually I get that trust. I get that trust with the customer, right? With the person that worked there. Then next thing you know, we exchange numbers. So I'm like, yo, let me know what y'all got, man, what y'all dropping. You know, how many sizes y'all got? You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm going to be late. This is before raffles. I'm going to be late. You know what I'm saying? Can you hold me a pair? So many people that held me a pair for sneakers that I wasn't able to get when they actually released. So they released at 10 o'clock. They let the gates open 10 o'clock a.m. I'm not gonna be there till 8:00 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hold these? Yeah, I got you. 11 and a half. I got you. So I go in there. Boom. He got me. So a lot of times the plus was really the people who was working at the store.
Okay.
They held you sneakers. Some people use a backdoor sneakers. What that mean, backdoor? So they'll give you a sneaker. Sometimes people selling sneakers before they actually release on that date. You couldn't take the box with you.
Oh.
You couldn't take the box with you. So they had to give you the box when they actually release on that day.
Mm.
That was happening at a lot of mom and pop shops too, on the low. And some big chain stores too. But that's the power of having to connect so you can have that access. Right? But now, yeah, it's crazy, man. But now it's difficult because you have a lot of stuff is going more online now.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Sneakers app, which is an app Nike created. It's limited releases, and more people is into sneakers now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The more limited it is, the more exclusive, the more intrigue. People want to get that because they know if they get it, a lot of people ain't gonna have it. Right. It's gonna set them apart. Right? So you have the Sneakers app. You have StockX, which is a resale market.
StockX?
So a lot
my bad, I didn't.
StockX.
Say it again?
StockX.
StockX.
Yeah, so it's a resale market. So if you can't get the sneaker on the day when it drops, you got StockX, which is gonna pay more. But as far as your actual plug, to be honest, you really don't need no plug, really. It's tough. It's tough because, man, you got your plugs, they use a sneaker box. You know, sneaker box is basically it's a spot where it's gonna hold you your spot to get a sneaker. You could buy bots, they online. So really people that's into tech, they will love bots. To be honest, I know my brother know more about the bots than I do, but basically what it is something that's gonna hold your spot for a sneaker. Yeah. Basically, that's what it is, right? But it's tough now. You really don't need no plug, Grailz, because you got StockX, you got Go, you got all these different resale markets. It is a lot of people don't even go to stores to buy sneakers. Really, to be honest, they go online. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So
are we behind? Are the days behind us of like waiting in line and the fights that happen from time to time?
Nah, bro. People still fighting over sneakers. I just seen a couple fights online just these past couple of weeks. People have been losing their damn minds on the low. Yeah, people still fighting, bro. Like they still fighting. But you know what? To be honest, Grailz, you really just where that happens at is bigger markets. I never seen that happen in Columbia. I never seen that happen in Nashville. Yeah. I never seen that happen like in a rural city, a rural town.
So it's where you know what I'm saying, millions of people in one spot. And you know, my wife, she works for a bank, and she always talks about, you know, supply and demand. But she says in supply and demand, what always wins is scarcity. You know, so when you talk about, I get that part. I understand when you talk about, especially like the limited releases. You know, I'm only releasing X amount, and there are billions of people in the world. Go, give me your money. You know, and people are glad to do it. That is crazy.
Because when you think about it, like Jordan releases always been really the retros a lot been limited quantity. They've been general releases, but they've been limited quantity. But during the 2000 era, 2000 through 2007, 2000. I say start peaking in 2010 from the mainstream, where you start seeing longer lines, especially in the South. Where from 2000 to 2007, I didn't have to worry about that. Yes, I knew they was limited, but I know that if I went into Hibbets, it's still gonna be a full shelf level of Jordan 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Because in those small markets like Columbia, when we had, you know, the Hibbets was in the mall, a lot of people wasn't standing outside in lines because it wasn't a huge market for that.
Right.
I didn't have to worry about that. You didn't have to worry a lot. You didn't even have to worry about that in Atlanta, because before Atlanta became Chocolate City.
Oh, okay.
Right? So, you know, and now in rural areas, in smaller markets, you seeing lines now. You got to get raffles, right? You got to get a raffle. They have a raffle during the week of the release of the shoe. So when you come in, you have your raffle there. You show it to them. Okay. You might not get it because you might not be none left, right? But now you seeing more of that. Now you seeing more of the lines, and I guess now you seeing more of the fights and stuff too. But I mean, that's still going on though. But it have died down. Cause I ain't gonna lie, guys. Like back in the '90s, when I was a young kid, I usually hear stories people getting killed, getting shot.
Right.
But you usually hear about that in these big markets like Chicago, Detroit, New York. Like cats was getting robbed. You know what I'm saying? So it was really bad. But now, that's when they was releasing shoes during the middle of the week. So people used to skip class, used to skip school. You know what I'm saying? And that's why now they only release on the weekends, on Saturdays.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, back then it was crazy. But now it have decreased, but you still got situations where it happens, man. It's really, to be honest, it's ridiculous at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It really is. So that's the part of the game where it put a bad name on people who really got a passion for sneakers, because they think all people who get sneakers are really into sneakers. They just spend all their damn money on shoes. Like, nah, it's not like that, bro. I mean, you got people that's professionals, that's good people, that's that's financially successful, that's really into it in this culture. It's just a couple of bad people or knuckleheads that make it look bad for everyone else. And those cats that be having fists ain't even a part of the damn culture. They just trying to get the latest nigga to stunt. That's it. They don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? So that put a bad name on the sneaker game too as well.
I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to fix these freezes on the fly. I don't know what's
No,
happening.
You good, dog.
So look, when you, and I'm glad you brought that up, because the perception out there versus the reality is always an issue. I like how you said it. I mean, what's the difference between someone like you, right, who's very responsible, make sure the family's taken care of, the bills are paid, you got the regular 9 to 5, plus another, you're an entrepreneur when you're off of the 9 to 5 work, and you budget and save, and everything's on the up and up. What's the difference between that and some multi-millionaire who sets his yearly budget? I got a couple of houses on an island, I got the boat, and all of that sort of thing. Why is it always looked at as, look at these poor people doing poor people things? Instead of eating, they're buying shoes. Like, that's not the case for the majority. Why do you think that perception is out there?
To be real, because I think because the culture is associated with minorities, associated with the Black and Latino community, the Black and brown community, Asians as well too. It's mostly Black and brown, right? I think if it was associated with Caucasians, with whites, you wouldn't see this,
right?
Because you got a lot of, like, I be seeing photos like memes that show J-Z with all the gold on versus the J-Z now with no jewelry. The J-Z back in the 80s and 90s was still getting money too. What you talking about? He was a millionaire before rap. Right. He was doing it in a different way.
His style just changed.
Okay.
Right. I remember J-Z when he was a fast rapper.
I'm like, them posts is useless, because the people, the millionaires, like a white person, right? They still gonna spend their money. Right. They might not spend no jewelry like a lot of people do. In the minority community, they might not spend on kicks or whatever, but they're gonna spend it on a yacht.
Right.
They're gonna spend it on a car, and that might be a bad investment for them. Or they might not even have the money to even buy it.
Right.
But because people see it like, oh, it's a white person, he's rich, and you don't know what he got in his pocket. He could be going broke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So I don't know where that stigma came from, or those sneaker memes that you see. I see people like, start your own business, start your own LLC. Yo, I don't count people's pockets. Yeah. You shouldn't count people's pockets. If they want to spend, let them spend it.
Right.
It's their money.
Right.
They work hard for it. You know what I'm saying? People don't say nothing to a lot of these dudes that's on child support. They don't pay their child support. These are the ones that be posting the memes. I be seeing it, dog. I'm like, come on, B. Don't be doing that. Don't be that person.
Right.
Because you read a couple books, you think you Mandela or Malcolm. Now stop it, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop it. Stop it. Y'all don't want to hear that.
Everyone has something.
Stop it, dog.
Everyone has their guilty pleasure.
Everyone has something.
Everyone has their guilty pleasures. They have their, their different interest. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Interest.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with it, man. And I think a lot of people forget, like, it's a lot of money in the sneaker industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know I see people, investing in stocks, investing in Bitcoin, which is dope too. But shit, sneakers is fail proof. People is making money they made money in recession.
Yeah.
They made money last year in the pandemic.
Yeah.
I know people that made $500,000 to $1 million within months just selling sneakers. It's like a stock market now. That's how StockX got their shoes. They got what shoe is trending in the green, what shoe is trending in the red.
Wait, is that an app for
that? The stock market. It's a website and it's an app. So it lets you know it's dope. So that's why I tell people, especially if you don't want to get into stocks, because you might not know about it or you might not have the patience to get into the sneaker market. You might not like sneakers, but guess what? It's going to sell. Like, materialism been selling since the day of time. Cars been selling, right? Niggas ain't going to stop driving cars. People ain't going to stop want to be fly.
Never.
Like, sneakers is going to sell. So at the end of the day, you might be getting on to this person, but you don't know how much money he got in his closets. He could flip that if he want to. That's the thing.
Right.
I can't flip no damn Gucci belt really like that, but I can flip these damn Jordans easily, right?
Man.
Real talk. So, that's just how it is, man. People look at it like that, like, yeah, but it's an investment too. You got a lot of people making money in the sneaker industry. They looking at the sneaker industry like the stock market now. Right. And that's what's dope about the game now. That's what's dope, what I like about it, because people is using what they love and what they just, as a hobby, they could turn into a career. Yeah. And we seeing that now. We seeing other companies investing into that. Foot Locker invested into GOAT, which is a resale site. I'm seeing so many different other companies doing that. Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, invest into StockX. StockX became $1 billion company, Grailz, within 5 years. Maybe not even 5 years, maybe 3 years. It became $1 billion company.
Nice. But that's
right. So it's money.
See, now we're talking about economics again, right? Supply and demand. That scarcity is set. So people are always wanting, like you may say the 11s that we talked about earlier, right? If there are only so many of those out there, the resale value is still kind of hold.
Yeah.
That's really, man. Yeah. What kind of site is it? Like, what's a site that you can go to kind of look at, like, the shoe market? I like that idea of a shoe market.
StockX.
StockX. Oh, okay.
It lets you know what shoes. Yeah, StockX. So it lets you know what's trending. Lets you know what shoe is hot. What shoe might not be hot. The resale value of it. I mean, it's really dope, man. How it is. You know what I'm saying? It really takes one sneaker, Jeremy. One sneaker, one coveted sneaker, and you could flip that for like thousands of dollars. Like the Jordan Dior, when it came out, I believe it was $1,000, $2,000 on the Jordan Dior retail. But I seen the next day after they released, they was going for $22,000, $25,000 resale value. Just think about that flip. You buy a sneaker for $2,000. Yeah. It's like the stock market. You buy a couple shares.
Right.
When it's high, you cash out, right? Buy the sneaker for $2,000, flip it for $25,000.
That's nuts.
You made a hell of a profit.
Yeah.
You made over $20,000 profit from that. You know what I'm saying? You know what that $20,000 could do? That could set you up to buy you a house. That could set you up to buy you an engagement ring, buy your do what you want to do. So
financial
people
freedom.
Talk about sneakers. Financial freedom. You got to think about that, right?
That's crazy, man.
And that Jordan Dior sneaker gonna make you, hey, I'm telling you, man, it could be definitely a good thing when it comes to that aspect, when it comes to the sneaker market, man. So I do like that part a lot, because a lot of young entrepreneurs, it birthed a lot of young entrepreneurs in the Black and brown community. And I think people overlook that aspect. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something that they know. They know the language of it.
See, that's interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
But that right there is interesting. When we're in a world where Black and brown suffers the most as far as the unemployment rate, right? And we have all of this creativity and sense of community, and we definitely have a passion and an eye for, for fashion, right? All
Yeah.
we're missing, like you said before earlier on, was all we're missing is that that business sensibility. If you can
Yeah.
nail those things, man, that I think that'd be a cool idea for someone like you to really look at how can I educate people on how to take the items that you have that you've acquired and
Exactly.
use them as income, because that will be
Yeah.
you could probably do a master class in that, which makes me think.
Oh
Which
yeah,
reminds
man.
me, how many? I don't know if this is like one of those taboo questions for a sneakerhead, but how many pairs of shoes do you have?
I really don't know, Gail. I kind of stopped counting, bro. To be honest, I think I got maybe the to be real. I'm gonna say about maybe 50 pairs of sneakers, but about 40 pairs I really wear. The other 10 pairs is just like beaters. I just wear them out if I'm taking out the trash or if I'm
He
going to the
said
grocery
beaters.
store.
Oh man, AKA
Yeah, my
probably
beaters,
the
but they
shoes that
still
I
look
have.
good. Hey man, I got my Air Max 95s. Where they at? I think they by the door, but yeah, my Air Max 95s, my neon greens is my beaters, and people will look at me like I'm crazy now. But it's my retro Air Max 95. So the ones I got like in 2000 when I got them, 2012 I believe,
Mm,
2011. Yeah. So, but yeah, man. So I got about 50 total, 50, and I probably got some more
mm.
laying around the house. Like my wife be going crazy because I be having sneakers just
How do you
all
how do
over
you
at times.
house AB? How do you house 50 some odd pairs of shoes? Like, do they have their own room?
Man, damn near. They damn near do, to be honest, man. I got them like on a rack. I got like a big rack in my
Uh huh.
closet. So it's pretty tall. So it holds most of my sneakers. Then I have another rack that holds it as well too. So the closet is pretty big. So I don't know when I get to full capacity what I'm gonna do. I don't know. Might have to get a storage or some shit, but I'm gonna make it do what it do though.
Yeah.
Like I am. So yeah,
Do
man.
you
It's
flip? Do
it's a
you flip
lot.
your shoes, or are you just like, man, I'm a
I
fan. I
never.
get them and hold them.
Yeah, yeah. I never flipped them. I did try to get into that business. I ain't gonna lie, I guess when I was in high
Uh huh.
school, but I was like at that time, like it was so difficult to get into that game if you was from a small market,
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't have a lot of just people with a large access of it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was like, nah, man. I'm like, fuck that. So after that, I was like, I'm just a person
Yeah.
going to really just, I'm kind of selfish when it comes to. I don't want to sell my sneakers. I don't want to trade my sneakers. A lot
They're
of people that try to
mine. I
buy
work
sneakers
for
off of
them.
me, Kev.
I save for them.
Yeah, they mine, man. Because every sneaker I got, it gives me that nostalgic feeling. Like it's a sneaker I seen in the past, and I always wanted them. I didn't have the money because I was a little youngin', or Mom Deuce wasn't going for that. Her and
Oh
Pops
man.
was like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm selfish with that,
Mhm.
man. I'm selfish with that, though. Nah, I don't. But I know a lot of people that do flip them, though. You know what I'm saying? For real. And if it do come a time, hey, I know what I got in my closet,
Yeah.
but I ain't doing that shit. I ain't not nah
Let me
nah.
ask you this. Let me ask you this. Because I feel like everybody has the thing that got away. What's one pair of
Yeah.
shoes that you would consider like the pair that got away, man? And I'm still looking for them today.
Oh, the pair that got away,
Yeah.
man. That's a good question. I gotta really think about that, Gils. Let me see. A pair that got away from me, man, that I wanted like really bad. Woo. Let me see, man.
Yeah. Because
Which
I could
one? It's a
filibuster.
lot. It's a lot.
I
I'm trying to think.
remember, like, I've had, let's see, one pair of Jordans in my life. And I remember, like, I didn't pick them out or anything. Like, the grandparents just bought me whatever, was out at the time. And I remember coming out and, like, being in gym class and, playing in them. And, like, people like, man, what you doing, man? You can't be running around in Jordans. I was like, what? That made no sense to me. I'm like, is that what you want? Like, it's a Michael Jordan shoe, right? Like, even saying it's a Michael
Yeah,
Jordan shoe, it's like, man, hey, Michael Jordan shoe, Gales. It's Jordans. They're just Jordans. And you
Jordan.
can't be out here, like, because it was, I wore them during class. I wore them, and, as I'm running around. I had them outside. We're playing outside. And he's like, no, man, what are you doing? This dude was losing his mind.
Exactly.
I was like, what? Yeah, man.
I probably gotta say, man, if I had to pick one, it's the most recent one. Most recent one, it was probably the Ben and Jerry Dunks that dropped last year. I really was a fan of the Ben and Jerry Dunks a lot, so I got on the sneakers out. I got up early when they released. I was ready. I had my information all ready to go. I had my wife's phone too, so I had two phones on deck. My phone and her phone, ready to get them. And I felt confident, like I'm gonna get these, and I wasn't selected. Yeah, that's probably. I like the Ben and Jerry Dunks a lot, and I'm not even a huge fan of low top dunks. It was low tops. I'm a huge fan of high top.
Okay.
So I was that shoe. Also the MF Doom dunks. I wanted the MF Doom dunks a lot. Rest in peace, the late great MF Doom. I wanted those a really bad. They dropped in, I want to say, I forgot which year, but it was like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
But I try to look everywhere for them. I couldn't find them nowhere. Not in Tennessee. So you had to really travel to get them. You know what I'm saying? Or go online, but it was so limited. Yeah. But the MF Doom dunks. Oh man, the De La Soul dunks as well. The De La Soul dunks, the first ones that dropped. I wanted those really bad. I was able to get them. The Rockefeller Air Force Ones. I actually drove to try to get those. I actually went to my man's at Soho Footwear in Hendersonville. They had some, but they didn't have none in my size. It was going for like $3 something, maybe $4 something. The Rockefeller Air Force Ones, I was willing to pay whatever to get them.
Oh, wow.
I was at that point, but I didn't get them. But yeah, those are sneakers that I definitely want to get a pair of Rockefeller Air Force Ones. I want to get a pair of MF Doom Dunks. I want to get a pair of the Ben and Jerry's. So those some of the ones that kind of I wasn't able to get, man.
Oh, yeah, man. That's fun. I wish I had like an Oprah moment. It's like, well, look under your seat.
I know, man. I'm
not there yet.
Lovely, dog. That would have been lovely.
Just know that they say it's the thought that counts. Just know that in my heart of hearts, that's what just occurred. Yeah, but look,
man.
I won't keep you too much longer. But before you get out of here, what are some of your goals? Coming up for the next 6 months, years, so on and so forth. For your company, family, man, just anything.
Oh man, probably the next 6 months. Just start with that. The short term for the company, man. I would say, man, just keep building. Right, keep building, man. That's the biggest thing. Keep building, keep networking, keep building these relationships with these people, in higher places, and also because relationships is everything. Like I mentioned earlier, man. Because if you build a relationship with someone, they might know someone else that's in a higher position, right? And they could just refer your work to this person just on the humble, just out of the blue. You know what I'm saying? Yo, have you seen Grailz new podcast? Yo, who is he? Yo, you need to check it out. Grailz Inc.
Yeah, man.
These some people who I was on their show just a couple of weeks ago, man. But I think you need to see it. And if they seem like, yo, this is really dope. Where they from? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, man. So keep building. Independent. So Grailz Inc. is independent. So you got to keep building, man. Keep reaching out to these people. Keep networking. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the biggest thing for me right now. And also expand into the clothing line. Bring the clothing line back again for the summertime. So long term, come out with more content. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on some stuff too right now. Visuals. I'm looking into bringing the clothing line like I mentioned earlier. Working on a show as well too. Shout out to my man Clipper E. We working on something that's gonna come, probably within the next 2 months or so. Which is going to be like, a sneaker review, you know what I'm saying? So that's going to be dope. So that's one thing I'm really seeing for short term and long term is to build an independent platform, keep building that independent platform. I had some meetings with some huge companies, for distribution, didn't go through, but still building on that. Because that's my biggest thing is that I do want to get a distribution with that. But if it don't come, I'm still going to build my own thing independently. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest thing about it, have a partnership. I would say that partnership, because you still keep your creative freedom. You know what I'm saying? With a partnership instead of like a joint venture. If it's a joint venture, shit, your freedom is basically gone. You gotta do what they say. But a partnership, is different. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one thing I got to keep doing, man, because I built a lot of groundwork with just me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Reaching out to these high individuals, so my resume, my portfolio looks great. When other companies see me, they be like, "How you was able to get this guy? How you was able to get her? How you was able to get all these guests? Like, do you got a manager? Nah, it's just me." You know what I'm saying? So keep building my resume and portfolio because they impressed by that. You know what I'm saying? So I be seeing like a lot of people posting and stuff like, "Yo, man, they be waiting on the next man and shit.
Yeah.
Don't wait on the next person. Do it
Keep
yourself.
going. Just get down and
Right?
dirty,
Build
man.
it.
Just
Just get down dirty, bro. Like that's the type of person I ain't gonna take no, man. You gotta tell me like, yo, hell nah. But if you tell me, yo, man,
I gotta be sure.
yo,
I gotta
let me
be
hit
sure.
you back. You gotta be sure. Like, yo, hit me back, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, you told me hit you back. Yo, what's up? Yo, can I get such and such? Like, you the manager for this guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm that type of person, man. You know what I'm saying? And also, I'm not gonna really just. I ain't gonna beg the other person. If you don't want to do it, okay, boom, move on to the next person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think those the goals with the company. Short term and long term. Just keep building, keep doing my thing independently, keep building up my resume, my portfolio, expand to more content, expand to clothing as well too. So I could just have different finances as well keep coming in. So that's the one thing for me, man. Because I know at the end of the day, you don't want to do something just for the money. If you do, okay, that's on you. But it's gonna burn out quickly because you don't give a fuck about it because you're just doing it for the money. So when the money stop coming, you like shit. What's next? So you want to do something, man.
Yeah.
Keep going. So like the main thing that I'm doing that's close to my heart, which is Grailz Inc. That's my passion. That's what I want to do. That's something I don't want to sell. But I do got ideas that might not be close to me that I do want to sell. So people got to think about that when they end these meetings, too, business meetings, right? Because you build to sell, but you need to have a business that's close to you, that's close to your heart, that you have a passion for, so you can keep doing this forever. But if it's something that you like but you don't love, this can make you money, build to sell.
Right.
Sell it when it's high. That's what J-Z been doing. That's what he always been doing when it comes to that. That's what a lot of great business people do.
Buy low, sell high.
So I learned that.
You sound like a stockbroker, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my man Willie the Kid, man. Shout out to my man Willie the Kid, man. We had this conversation on Yo, It's the Kids. He was breaking that down to me, man, for real. So like I said, just doing that, you know what I'm saying, building those relationships, getting those gems like that. So as a family, I mean, just gotta be, still be the strong person that I've been. I think keep creating that balance with the family life. Keep spending time with them. Time is of the essence. I think we all learned that from last year. Even if it's just small time, you know what I'm saying, movie time, whatever. So I think that's my vision. You know what I'm saying? That's my vision. Continue to lead. Continue to be accountable. Accountability is everything, right? Even if I do something wrong, I got to be accountable for that. I have to admit my faults. So I think putting away my pride and ego as a man, which is tough for a lot of men out here, especially black men. So that helps, man. You put away your pride and ego, your life going to be smooth sailing down there. That's going to help with everything when it comes to your relationship, your communication. So those are some of the goals I want to keep building on. That's what I was doing last year.
Yeah, man.
As far as with the family.
I'll tell you what, I love it. We'll end on your shout outs and you can throw your socials and everything. Don't go anywhere, but I can't think of a better person to take that advice from. Your passion really does bleed through your show, man. And I can see all the things that you're telling me in what you do. You always got that big old smile. You always seem to be enjoying yourself, and man, that's something I definitely look up to, man. And I'm gonna have to bend your ear a little bit, and, maybe get some advice. Man.
Most definitely, man. We all here, man. We all like you can learn from anybody. Don't matter the age group. Don't matter what this person do, what profession. If that person got good information, you could learn from that particular person, man. That's how I look at it, bro. Like, that's what we here for, bro. Just keep bouncing ideas off of one another. Just if it's just general information about family life, whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And also too, you said the shout outs,
throw
right?
out the shout outs, man. Where can we find Yo It's the Kicks? I know you're moving to a different day, right?
Talking about far as with you said a different day?
Yeah.
For the shows or just Oh yeah, Yo It's the Kicks. So Yo It's the Kicks, man, we have it weekly. So at first, when I first started, I was doing like 4 episodes a week. And I was like, oh hell nah. This shit is gonna burn me out. You know what I'm saying? I was doing 4 episodes a week, yo, like Tuesday through Friday.
Oh, man.
Book, dog. You know what I'm saying? Which was great though, but now I'm just doing it's 1 to 2 episodes a week. So we usually have it from Tuesday or Thursdays or Fridays. So any between those days on Tuesdays through Fridays, just stay in touch with us on social media, which is at Grailz Inc. GrailzInc at Grailz Inc. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can also follow my personal profile, AB Exclusive, ABXCLUSIVE on Instagram. So I'll be posting updates as well too when it comes to the latest episodes. Also on Facebook as well as my government. You know what I'm saying? So Albert Burris Jr. on Facebook. Shout out to my big bro Dre McFly. Dre McFly is actually a co-creator with me on Yo It's the Kids. He was the original host pre-COVID. Then when COVID hit, I took over and started hosting it. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't do it at that time, so he gave me the blessing, and I've been doing it ever since. So shout out to Dre McFly. Definitely huge part of Grailz Inc. Shout out to everyone that's been holding us down. Our fans, the people that have been supporting us from day one. Yeah, man. Shout out to my wife as well. She do a lot of artwork. Shout out to my wife, Amanda. Who else, man? Another shout out. Shout out to my man E too. My man E. Like I said, we're working on some new content. Shout out to him as well. Shout out to all the Black businesses, man. I'm seeing a lot of great Black businesses in Middle Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing a lot of great work. I'm seeing. Shout out to you, Gail, you and Dean, man. What y'all been doing, been great. Shout out to your sister J Lee. Shout out to my man Jupe. The guy with Jupe Lee and stuff, which is beautiful. Yeah, man. Just send a shout out to everyone that's Black and that's winning. Shout out to everyone that's Black, like Issa Rae, man. I'm cheering for everyone that's Black, bro. I'm cheering.
Awesome.
I'm cheering. But I'm cheering for everyone. I'm cheering for everyone too. If you woke up today, hey, that's a blessing, man. That's a blessing. Right. But yeah.
Okay, man. ABX, Albert, Sir Burris, all the titles. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Man, thank you, bro. For real, man. Appreciate that, man. Love what you're doing.
I'm gonna definitely get you back on because I have more shoe questions.
Oh yeah, I'm down. I'm down with that, man. Anytime, man. Just hit me up. I got you.
I will say, man, my favorite episode so far is when you had your guy on there breaking down how artists were unknowingly signing away rights to things. Right? We talk about that intellectual property. Man, that was major. Yes. You have to make sure you keep talking about that. Because even Dean is talking about, like, if we go big, blah, 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 someone pick us up, we can, like, nah, man. Say, we got to keep it. You have to be conscious. Yeah, you got to make sure you have to be
conscious of that because they will try to sell it away, man. It's that financial literacy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's something that a lot of us wasn't talked about when it comes to business. You know what I'm saying? If it did, it just went over our damn heads at the time. So I think, that's something that we take advantage of because we see a deal like, oh shit, this could be life changing. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's like $250,000, which is nice. That's a nice that's a nice amount. They're like, hey, I give you $250,000, and you ain't even think about reading the damn contract. Like, yo, it's good, it's good. I got my lawyer here.
Hey, hold on, now.
Give me the pen. Yeah. And they'll be like, my lawyer is. A lot of companies they have their own lawyer, right? So they're gonna tell you. Like, it's good. Don't worry about nothing. Yeah. We don't know the language in these contracts. We just see the money. Shit. Okay, the money cash into your account and whatever. But what you don't know, hey, they own it now.
Right.
They own it. So if you want to move it to a different company or whatever, or you want to, if you don't go well after the first season, they cancel
Yeah.
it. They could bring it back on and replace your ass,
Right.
and bring someone else into it.
Selling something with your name
So you
and
don't
your
own
face, and they'll give you, you know, pennies and keep the majority. Yeah, man.
Yes.
Like I was literally, you know, the team of lawyers that these people have, the languaging, right? Words like, you know, in
Yeah, the
perpetuity
language.
throughout the universe, like that sounds like a big commitment. Maybe I should read into this,
Yeah.
or hire somebody to
Maybe
read
I
it
should
for me.
read what they're.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
that's nuts, man.
Yeah, man. So that's nuts because a lot of us, you know, getting on, we don't have money for attorneys. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or it's, you know what I'm saying? So they got their own attorneys already. They telling you it's good, but it's really not.
Yeah, it's good. Well,
It's really
they're
not,
being
man.
honest
So
now. It's good for
yeah,
them. They work for the company.
for them,
Right.
they work for
We've
the
had our
company.
lawyers look it over.
They
It's
get
solid deals. Like, yeah, for you.
solid deal
Yeah.
for you. Yeah, for you. So it goes back to that financial literacy with that, man. And I'm still learning myself. So that's one thing I want to continue to learn. You know, continue to build on that because it's like these companies, they want you to lean on them, but if they know that, hey, I don't need you, you need me.
Mm-hmm.
You got the leverage.
Yeah, man.
You got the leverage. So,
if you haven't checked it out already, man, Judas and the Black Messiah. Whew.
man, I still need to see the movie. I haven't watched it yet, man. I know it's going to be off of HBO Max, I think, in another 2 weeks from now. So I need to go ahead and watch it.
Yeah.
But you know, Chairman Fred, Fred Hampton, man, just that story, man, it's really saddening, man, because he was only 21. He was doing great stuff in the community, man. He was uniting all types
everybody,
of people,
man.
not just black.
That's right.
Everybody, man. Pushing the Rainbow Coalition. Jesse Jackson kind of took it and started a Rainbow, I think, Push Coalition, really from Fred Hampton. You know what I'm saying? But Fred, what he was doing, he was interacting with everyone. The people that was really in the streets, the gangs, just the normal everyday people, all at the age. He was doing all that, before he was 21 years old, man. So that's just amazing to me, just his story, but how he got killed, man. It was sad, bro. Like
you gotta watch it, man, because I remember touching on those subjects just briefly, but never to this extent. Like I was talking to someone else and talking about how it took me over 4 hours to watch it because I kept pausing. Like, is this true? Did this happen? Like my Google fingers were working, man. But it really forced me to educate myself on it. And man, when I tell you, the biggest thing from that movie that I got was him talking about the powers that be are threatened because of the one constant truth, right? There's power where there's people.
Yes,
and man, that's that's a heck of a sentiment.
Power is in the numbers, man. Power is the people. Power to the people. You know what I'm saying? And if you look out through history, man, like the only people that's supposed to protect and serve us, right? The government, the FBI, whatever, they took down all of our black leaders, bro, because they didn't want them to unify. They didn't want us to really educate ourselves, right? Like they killed Chairman Fred Hampton. They dismantled the Black Panther Party. They put the Black Panther Party against another black organization called the US organization. Look what they did to Martin Luther King. J. Edgar Hoover had files on Martin Luther King, on Malcolm X, Medgar Evers. They deported Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Like
there's no lengths that they won't go
to. They won't go to. Like every leader that we had in our community was chopped down. Then they wonder why. That's a lasting effect on our community. Not only also with slavery that happened way before then. Then also these towns is really modern. It just happened 50, 60 years ago. It's still young.
Yeah.
So that's why you see a lot of people go for themselves. After the 60s, after the civil rights era, you start seeing pimping. You start seeing hustling. You start seeing more of that on these mainstream screens. Like black exploitation movies. I love black exploitation movies, by the way.
I got one for you.
I love
Have you seen Black Dynamite with Michael Jai White?
Yeah, I love Black Dynamite. Yes, man. I love that, man. That's a classic.
Yeah, like a spoof of a spoof generation or genre.
Yes.
It was so good, man. So good.
It really was so funny, man. That shit was funny as hell, man. But yeah, like we start seeing these themes on our television then,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what you see in the Black exploitation era. So people start being attracted to that, what I'm saying, that
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle. And they like, why should I be an activist? Why should I dedicate my life to the people?
Right.
Fuck that,
Right.
And
Right.
the
Look what
reason why you
happens.
start seeing
They
more
cutting us
people,
off.
look what
Yeah,
happened.
I ain't got time for that. Gotta make this money.
I gotta make this money.
Yeah, man.
And the reason why, because, our leaders got killed. And when they did get killed, they didn't have a lot of money in their pocket like
Mm,
that. Malcolm X died with $900 in his account,
man.
man. So, and when they see that, they made an example like, hey, if the next black person rise up, this is gonna happen to
Yeah.
you. So that's why you start seeing more images like that. You know what I'm
But here's
saying?
where we're at now
Like
in modern
pimping.
times, right? With tools
Yeah.
at our disposal, like social media and camaraderie and the exchange of ideas and talents and skills, right? Man,
Yeah.
because even I talked before about hip hop making that swing from fight the power and freedom for the people, all this, to that bling bling era. That was
Yeah.
deliberate. That was in a
Yes.
direct attack.
Yes.
Because what happens is if you get a group of people all thinking like that and start thinking outside the box and start waking up, then that's a serious issue, because you can't just cut off one head. It's like Hydra, right? You cut off one, two more pop up,
Yes.
because it's a community that's doing it. If we keep working and keep pushing this thing into more of a community sort of a thought process, man, there's no limit to where our
Yeah,
personal
it's no
community
limit.
can go.
It's no limit, man. And I think, that's something I would love for that to go. It's going to be tough because we don't have the infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
So in everything, by any means, if we got to sit at the table,
Mm-hmm.
we literally had to sit at the table with white America, because we don't own it.
Right.
They own it. We are the culture, but they own the
But here's
culture.
the thing:
So
to do that, AB, we have to be willing to just admit that we need to, because there's still that line of thought of
yeah,
like, man, I don't ask nobody for nothing. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
so, in this ideal that like conservatives have of pull yourself up by your bootstrap, not one of you did without help.
Yeah,
Someone taught you something.
exactly.
You
Without
were in
help.
some kind of boarding school or a private college, something. Somewhere down the line, you got to at least see someone be successful and how to do it. Like, so don't give that to
Yeah,
don't
you
tell
got
us
to.
about pull ourselves up by a bootstrap. Like, no. But we in our community have to demand that information. Because that's the real key to the
Yeah, we
prison,
have to.
man. Knowledge.
Knowledge is the key,
Yeah.
man. You got to, because they're not gonna tell us the actual knowledge in school, because they don't want us to learn about
Right.
it. Like you said, people that come from these marginalized groups, they start learning more. They're gonna get together and try to plan a takeover, because they know what's really real. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They don't want that, so they want to keep us dumbed down. They don't teach us that.
right.
So you gotta learn it on your own. You gotta really self-educate yourself, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? You have to, but yeah, man. It's
Look,
wild.
right,
It's
look.
wild
Let me
out
cut
here.
this off, because let me tell you, you get two people. We're answering the question right now. What happens when you get two talkers in a room?
Yeah.
And neither one of us has our wives here present to cut us off. So I'm gonna try to do
Exactly.
it, because I know you got stuff to do tonight, man. But look, again, thanks for being on. You gotta
No, I
come back,
appreciate
and
that.
we'll
I
start
will.
that conversation again.
Yeah, exactly. That's a fact, bro. Thank you, man. Like I said, bro, it's a pleasure. It's an honor, bro,
Yeah, hey,
for having me on the show, man.
I appreciate
Thank
you for coming, man.